Hello, and welcome to my top books of 2024. This year, I read a pretty good amount of books, 26 to be exact. And I'm just gonna say my top ones. I'm just gonna go through this by author, I think. It's not scripted, so who knows what will come out of my mouth, but yeah, let's do this. Start this off chronologically. One of my favorites this year, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. I read this at the very beginning of the year, and it's pretty good. I like how you got the two perspectives. They were kind of like different in a way, but they were experiencing the other person's life, so that was interesting. One thing I didn't like was the ending, where sort of over explained everything. Like there were pages upon pages of, oh, here's how this all worked and here's how it all happened, which normally I'm fine with, but this was just a bit much. It was just paragraphs saying how it all happened. And of course it's nice to read these nice cover books. I read Sunlit Man next. I didn't like that one as much, although I do like how it featured one of the characters from Stormlight. And it was cool to read Wind and Truth and kind of see sort of how we're getting to the point of Sunlit Man. Speaking of Wind and Truth, definitely one of my favorites. Everyone has conflicting feelings on this one, but I still think I love this book. Dalinar's whole plot is a bit weird when you think about it at first. He's just in a completely different place than you'd expect, but for the whole book, and that it's a bit weird how he's there the whole time, but I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading his parts. Adolin in this book was probably his best book. And then Zeth actually became one of my favorite characters in this book. Him and Kaladin going through the place. I'm not going to spoil it, but Zeth is the POV character, and his flashbacks in this book were pretty good. I'd say probably the best flashback since Shallan. Or no, probably Dalinar. Yeah, I guess it's just better than the Rhythm of War flashback. I of course read First Law this year, the first trilogy and 3 standalones and the short story collection. And I'd have to say, my favorite of the bunch was The Heroes. It's just kind of like a war story, battle I guess. It's only 3 days long. Well, a bit longer if you include the beginning and end, but I really enjoyed the characters in this book. Bremer was amazing. Calder, who no one really likes in the first trilogy, he was actually really cool in this book, getting his POV. And then Beck. I feel like not a lot of people would like Beck because he kind of is a bit of a coward, but he's got that typical like young person coming into the wars all excited and then getting all disappointed because it's definitely not how he expected. So I like The Heroes a lot. Probably one of my favorites this year. And then of the first trilogy, I'd probably say The Blade itself. It's my favorite. A lot of people don't like that one because I feel it's just a giant introduction prologue. But I think it has the best ending of the 3. And I do like introductions to characters. So getting the introduction to Glokta and Logan was just so cool at the beginning of the book. And those were my 2 favorites for the rest of the series too. So yeah. I liked Before They Are Hanged, but it's a bit too realistic because they go on this whole journey and then nothing happens, and then they try to protect a city and it doesn't work. But I do like Colonel West's story in this whole trilogy as well, because he's like the one guy you think is good until you get to that point where he's not. I read The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. These are obviously good, as everyone knows. I think I like The Hobbit a bit more than The Lord of the Rings on this read through because I knew everything that happened in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but I don't really remember anything from The Hobbit. I've only seen the movies, so, and I haven't seen The Hobbit one since it came out. So The Hobbit was kind of fun. It was like just this adventure, and I didn't really know what was going to happen, so it was definitely longer than I thought. because I thought the last moment would be Smaug's end, but I've completely not remember the Battle of the Five Armies. Fellowship was awesome. I liked getting to explore the Shire in the beginning, and then like kind of exploring the world as a reader with these new people who haven't explored the world yet. It's kind of like the typical fantasy farm boy story. Two Towers, it's a bit weird because you have to get used to book 1 and book 2 having completely different perspectives, or book 3 and book 4 in the Two Towers. But I did really enjoy both of them. I think this is the best moments with Frodo and Sam and Gollum, and also the chase with Merry and Pippin, and then going to Helm's Deep and then Orthanc. It's pretty good. I like Two Towers. Return of the King is probably my least favorite. Hot take. I read some Terry Pratchett this year. Mort, Color of Magic, and Guards. It's a bit disappointed by all of those, if I'm honest. I like the beginning of Mort a lot. Guards was not what I expected, and Color of Magic, people say is not the best place to start Pratchett. But then this year I did read Men at Arms already, and that was really good. I really loved Men at Arms. I think that's kind of more what I was expecting from Guards, which was like a bunch of ragtag different species like trolls and dwarves and werewolves all coming together, joining this watch, and kind of just becoming just a weird group of individuals drawn together. I read the original Thrawn trilogy. It's like the only Star Wars I read this year. Heir to the Empire, Dark Horse Rising, and Last Command. I think the last one's probably the best, Last Command. I don't really remember what happened though, so couldn't tell you, but I do think I remember Last Command being the best. I think that is all the physical books I read this year. I also read Harry Potter after I got surgery. That's kind of like a comfort read. There's nothing more of a comfort read than that. It's pretty good. I don't like Harry. He's so annoying. But I think that's probably it. So yeah, that's my top books of 2024. As I said, when in truth, the heroes are probably my two favorite books this year. In 2025, I want to read Bloodsworn's Saga by John Gwynne, Norse-inspired fantasy. Some more Pratchett. I have Feet of Clay and Light Fantastic up on the shelf, so I'll probably get to those this year. Second trilogy, Age of Madness for First Law. I am a chronic series finisher, so I will always finish it even if I don't like it. But I have grown to like Abercrombie more as I've read, because his characters are just fantastic. I have Malazan here. I'm definitely not going to be reading that anytime soon, but we'll see. Thank you. Bye.